welcome to Lang Park for this, the major semi-final of the 1984 Winfield Cup, and the biggest crowd we've had for a club game this year. And why not? The two top teams in action today, far and away the best crowd. A big one here, Michael, and I suggest they're going to get plenty of action.
Oh yes, as we hear the crowd roar for South coming out onto the field, led by big Mal Meninga.
Okay, let's have a look at the teams firstly. And in the Wynnum-Manly team, here's how they line up. The fullback is Colin Scott. The wingers are Terry Butler and Warren Green. We have Brett French and Gene Miles in the centres. 5'8" is Wally Lewis, and the halfback Peter Dawes. The lock forward is Brian Walsh. In the second row is Ian French and Greg Dowling. And the front row is Tony Kajewski, David Green, as the captain, of course, and Gary Coyne. Having a look at the South's lineup, there is one change in the South's team, and that is the 5'8" Wayne Halverson is out. His spot has been taken by Bruce Harry. So they read Gary Belcher at fullback, Phil Beavers and Peter Jackson the wings. In the centres it's Mal Meninga and Hubie Abbott. The 5'8" now is Bruce Harry, the halfback Brad Sully. Lock forward is Bob Lindner. In the second row it's Kelvin Kerr and Ash Lumbey, and then the front row is Doug Gibson, Eddie Muller and Bob Kellaway. So Halverson, Mick, unfortunate for him to miss out on this one, but South won't lose much with Bruce Harry there. He's been in good form as of late.
Yes, and we've seen him play against Wally in those other, well, I remember one particular game against Wynnum-Manly, and handled the situation beautifully with Bruce Harry. There he is, number 6. There's a back view of him. He'd be a bit nervous. He's sort of coming in at a late stage of the caper, but plenty of ability there.
I think most of them have been a little bit nervous here today too, Michael. It's a big match. Central referee, of course, is Eddie Ward, who's back in action out there. And Reg Banish and John Burns are the touch judges. So we're all in readiness to go. Just a little bit of a lull from the crowd, but I'm sure they'll warm up in about 1 second from now. Mal Meninga ready to kick off for South. They're coming from the northern end of the ground here at Lang Park. There is the whistle, and we're underway in this major semi-final. Winner straight through to the grand final.
3, but they're going to find it extremely hard, and they're harassing as we speak Gene Miles. He should have cleared the kick, but they're up quickly. Shades of what happened to St George when they had Wynn trying to clear.
Well, it's Wally Lewis putting the kick in. It'll go deep downfield. Coming across to take it will be Belcher, the southern suburbs fullback. He decides to run it out, but a tackle coming in a crossover there from Ian French will take care of him about 10 metres short of the halfway. Very warm out here today too, Michael, as we'd expect at this time of the year.
Oh, very hot, and this happens, unfortunately, in Brisbane in final time, but they'll just have to put up with the heat.
Sully back over there to Kellaway. Kellaway to the halfway mark. He's standing up in the tackle. Dawes in underneath. Was looking around for support, but decided to go to ground with it. He'll play it now. This is Brad Sully over to Lumbey, rather. Then cutting away nicely. This is South on the bustle. Oh, the pass was a mile away as Belcher came in, then sent the pass out there. And nowhere near it was Peter Jackson. He'd have to have been pretty good to get there.
Oh, he would have had to be an Olympic sprinter to run onto that one. It went about 2 metres forward. What a lovely break too early for South.
So here it is across to Colin Scott. Scott has been out injured with an ankle problem, but he's a man that could, well, if you have a look at this Wynnum-Manly side, Mick, there are several players that could turn the match themselves.
Yes, there are a lot of stars in there, and they've played well during the season.
So getting up to play at this time is Gene Miles. Back over there to Dawes. Dawes back onto Kajewski. Kajewski will go to ground about 15 metres short of the halfway mark. David Green is dummy half over to Dawes. He doubles around, then a cross over there to French. Ian French. French still going. Eddie Muller underneath. The pass back inside to David Green. Green will be bowled over in the tackle there of Bob Kellaway. He'll get up quickly to play it. Scott dummy half to Dawes. Walsh. Then a crossover here to Greg Dowling standing wide. Dowling bustling his way to a couple of metres inside South territory before he's put over.
Oh, bad miss by Bob Lindner in defence there, and that's very unusual for Bob Lindner.
Walsh cuts out Dawes, gets it away to Wally Lewis. Lewis now gets Dawes doubling around. He is chased and eventually tackled and put to the ground a few metres inside southern suburbs territory. That is the end of the tackle count. Peter Jackson plays it back to Muller, then coming across over here to Gibson. Gibson going to be put to the ground a few metres short of that halfway mark now. He'll get up to play it, and back in there to Bob Lindner. Lindner crashing back into the Wynnum forwards, although he's taken by Gene Miles and also David Green. Muller's to dummy half. No points on the board as yet. Sully across over to Bruce Harry. Harry dummies one way, then starts to cut back the other. Doesn't get too far before he's wrapped up by the defence. Man getting it underneath this time is Gary Coyne. He'll play it. And this is Lindner, away to Jackson this time on the wing. But he's well and truly caught up over there by the defence. Gene Miles and also the winger over there in Warren Green to put him down. Sully. Now to Meninga. Meninga gets it away to Bob Kellaway. Kellaway to the halfway mark, looking for support again. He finds it this time. Coming through as Harry. Got it around the corner to Lumbie. Lumbie in turn knocked over by Dawes underneath, and also getting in the tackle there will be Ian French.
I tell you what, Bob Kellaway's creating heaps of problems for Wynnum-Manly early in this match.
A little bit of loose play here by South. Eventually picked up by Belcher. He puts it high in the air. I don't know what that was all about. Going back over there was Wally Lewis. He was tackled by Ian French, his own man.
He might be colourblind.
I'm not sure what was going on there. This is Lewis again, up to a couple of metres short of the halfway mark now. Getting up to play it. And it's Wynnum-Manly in possession. Dawes flicking it back over to Miles. Going to be lost, flying clear. Quickly South will clear it. This is Mal Meninga. But the referee is going to rule that pass carried forward.
Actually, very close to the borderline, that one.
Well, plenty of action in the opening part of this match, Mick. The crowd are looking for something to cheer about.
Well, they're still feeling each other out. Wally Lewis went for a determined run. Here's this pass. Yes, Mal Meninga had to reach forward.
There's a kick downfield. Going back there this time will be Phil Beavers. He's under plenty of pressure. Has Terry Butler right on top of it. Loses a ball. Try. It's a try. In goes Brett French. Phil Beavers spilling it. And Brett French picking it up and in for the opening try of the match. Well, he was under pressure right from the outset.
Oh, yes, but should never have dropped that. A disaster by Phil Beavers. Dropping the ball, and that's a gift try. And if Wynnum really wanted to go, here's the replay, NEC replay. Scott puts it down. Awkward bouncing ball. Beavers did... He got there, he had it well and truly covered, and he did the right thing. You dive on it. But then he was hit by Butler, and you've got to learn to hold on to the pill. That's 9/10 of the game, and South's in trouble. And that's really, I think, what Wynnum-Manly were looking for.
Yes, well, the kick downfield from Colin Scott had Beavers on the back pedal, but as you say, Mick, he got there, and he put himself between the ball and the player coming through Butler, but Butler jarred it out of his hand in the tackle, or out of underneath his arm. So that's the first try on the board for Wynnum-Manly. They go to a lead of 4-0 after some 5.5 minutes of play. Well, there hadn't been much between the two of them up until then.
Well, actually, the kick was a, like it's been all along for both sides, a despairing kick, just a clearing kick. Good work from Scott, and he put it downfield. And it, in heaps of trouble was Beavers from the start.
So it's Colin Scott attempting to convert the try. And his first shot at goal here today for Wynnum-Manly. Taking plenty of time. A little bit of a breeze coming across his kick from right to left, but nothing too much to worry about. Southern Suburbs in a huddle in that in-goal area.
I wonder what young Phil Beavers is thinking there.
Well, Big Noel stayed away from him, I think. Probably a roast at this time. Mick would only throw him even more, I would imagine. Here's Colin Scott. He's online. It's a great kick. It's straight through the centre. Williams lead at Lang Park is 6-0. South's down 6 points now. There's a kick-off taken on the boot there by Colin Scott, then starts to run it out. He'll get up to about 2 or 20 metres out from his own line before he's put down. He'll get up to play it now. David Green from dummy half. Back over there to Greg Dowling. Dowling straight ahead. He's up to the quarter line before he's put down by Gibson, and also into the tackle this time is Kellaway. This is Coyne taking it up for Wynnum. Well met up over there by the Southern Suburbs defence. Getting it underneath there is Kelvin Kerr. Now over to Wally Lewis. There's a bit of room to move here if they can get it going. There's Colin Scott, makes the extra man, but he's going to be tackled nicely this time. Racing across field to put him down is Bob Linder in cover. So it's Butler from dummy half to Dowling, then Dawes, then away this time to Kajewski, decides to run. Put down 10 metres short of the halfway mark, and the final tackle is on its way. David Green is the dummy half. Wait for the kick as it goes back to Gene Miles, and the big centre puts the boot underneath it, drives it down between Heltzier and also Phil Beavers. Beavers takes this one. Starts to move. He has Ian French out after him this time, and he'll put him to the ground. Well, he does it. He tackled him. He got going again and eventually put over about 30 metres out from the south line. So away from dummy half. Ooh, coming it over the top is Belcher. Nearly knocking Peter Jackson right out of business. Muller from dummy half to Brad Sully. Sully trying to skirt up the centre. Got his pass back to Muller. Over the top it goes. They keep it alive. Back inside this time is Gibson. Gibson going to be tackled about 30 metres out from his own line. Phil Beavers is dummy half. Wynnum are leading by 6-0. Bruce Harry getting it across. Here's Belcher into the back line, but Belcher well wrapped up. Over the top was Dawes. The man in underneath this time was the front rower there in Kajewski. So now it's Peter Jackson losing it in the tackle. Dawes will regather, although it's dived out in front of him and going to be taken over there by Kajewski. So Wynnum have got possession. This is Wally Lewis. Turns it back inside to David Green. Green in turn covers about another 5 or 6 metres before he's put over.
A lot of drop ball by both sides.
Dummy half up there is Warren Green. Back over to Dawes. Dawes getting it on this time to French. French on the move up the centre. Still going. But eventually going to be put to the ground in the tackle of Muller. And also getting across here is Brad Sully. From the play the ball, Peter Dawes back over to David Green. On to Gene Miles. Miles stands in the tackle to Green. Sends it on the blind side to Lewis. Quick hands coming across to Kajewski. Kajewski trying to get away from Ash Lumby, but the second row for Souths will put him over. He'll get up to play it. Warren Green is the dummy half. Green back over to Dawes, to Lewis. Lewis keeps it going to Colin Scott, who's been very prominent coming into the Wynnum back line. But the final tackle's on its way now. Dawes clears it away to Wally Lewis. Lewis is going to put it up nice and high. Back there is Belcher. This is a good kick. Walsh is pouring through on top of him. He's lost the ball. It's going to be picked up by Coyne, and that's try number 2 from the drop ball. Coyne is in for the try, and it's a 10 points to 0 lead.
Oh, and probably will go to 12. What a disaster for South. What a beautiful bomb from Lewis. It went up. When it came down, it had ice on it. Belcher waited for it. And once again, there was really not a lot of pressure. He just let the ball get away from him. And, oh, these are 2 gift starts for Wynnum-Manly. They're flying. South in heaps of trouble now.
Here's Lewis putting it up. As you said, Mick, it's a great bomb, this one. It's spot on line. It gave the Wynnum players plenty of opportunity, and the Chargers led by Brian Walsh, as you can see in the centre. Belcher out of his hands, rolling loose. Gary Coyne says, hello, we've had 2 Christmases in one day. So it's just 10.5 minutes of playing on in the first half, and Wynnum having a lead of 10 points to 0. And I don't think, Mick, that any of their supporters would have thought that they'd have that many points on the board after 10 minutes of play, almost a point a minute.
Oh, definitely not. And actually mistakes by South. Both, they're all mistakes. I wonder what Strudwick is thinking as he has tea and scones on the hill up there.
So now it's Colin Scott, an easier one than his first shot at goal today, which never looked like missing. It was straight as a die.
Well, I would presume Belcher and Beavers will be seeing plenty of high ball this afternoon.
Yes, you can get your money on that one.
Sensitive South, standing rather than running onto the ball. Have to get more mobile than that.
It's Jackson up over the quarter line. Mullis to dummy half, 10-2, Wynnum leading. Sully back over there to Gibson. Gibson unloads it back behind him. It'll be picked up there by Kellaway. Kellaway to Harry. Harry with the pass to Meninga. Then to Hubie Abbott. Not much room to move, so he cuts back inside and goes to ground with it about 25 metres out from the South's line, away from dummy half. It'll be the second rower there in Kerr, sending it on. This is Ash Lumby. Can he get the pass away? It's rolling loose, picked up by Belcher. Belcher in turn is going to be tackled.
Oh, look, good passing there by South. Would have had them away on the run long ago.
There's Meninga going to get away to Jackson. A little bit of room for the winger to move. He cuts back inside, links up nicely. Coming through this time is Muller. Sends the pass away. This is the fullback. Belcher. Will they catch him? He's working right across field. Links up with Beavers. Can Beavers go? Put to the ground, and a high one there by Colin Scott.
Oh, dear me, Beavers is out.
He's got time with the sin bin as Colin Scott.
How long? I didn't see.
I wasn't looking at
I thought he was off. I think he was sent off completely.
He's off.
We'll have a look at it on the NEC replay. Here's Beavers. A long pass hits him. Now, Scott, you don't see Scott, but he has left. Now, Beavers comes inside. There's nowhere else to go. Now, he didn't hit him. Beavers ran into that, basically. But, tell you what, not having a happy game, Phil Beavers. He's been in all sorts. Now, here it is. He steps inside. Now, Scott was flying, so he's put the anchors on and went, here, I'll have to take it. I tell you what, French has finished everything off. I noticed when we're changing play and switching play all the time, South will have to have a straight line all the time. 25
minutes of the first half gone, and it's a lead for Wynnum by 10 points to 4. This is Hubie Abbott. He's found a gap. He's starting to accelerate. He's up to the halfway mark. He's just about on his own, I'd say. He pushed away Brian Walsh. He also tried to do it again. Then French came in and bundled him into touch. No, just in from the field of play.
Oh, what a superb run from Abbott.
It was a big run. Here's Sully trying to take it up from there, and not too far away either. A couple of metres out from the Wynnum line. Bruce Harry to dummy half. Harry swinging it across to Meninga. Meninga got it away to Lindner. Here's the first try for the Magpies. Bobby Lindner in, and that narrows the margin quite a bit.
Oh, superb run, and I might add that Abbott wrong-footed Miles down here with a funny sort of a stop-go motion as we go to the NEC replay, and Mel Meninga is involving himself. Watch this short pass. Takes 2 men out of the play beautifully, and who better to give it to than Linda?
So Bob Linda in for the try. Here it is again. Replay coming away right now. Brad Sully playing it back. That's Bruce Harry. Now here's Meninga. Short one there that he drew the defence of the front row of Kajewski, and then Linda able to go in for that try.
You couldn't blame Kajewski because he had to go to him, because one out Meninga would have gone on his own if Kajewski had gone to take Linda.
So Southern Suburbs right back into it now. Meninga will level it up from here. There's the kick, no doubt about it. 10 points all here at Lang Park at the moment.
Must remember too, Wynnum-Manly are now without that extra man, and by Jove, that could prove very costly as the game progresses.
Particularly Scott was chiming into the back.
Oh, he was being, yes, he was a big worry to them, Bill, there.
This is the fullback back there in Gary Belcher from the kickoff. Belcher put down about 20 metres out from his own line. From the play the ball, Gibson. Just about on the quarter. Sully across over to Kellaway. Kerr was going to go up as dummy half, but Muller takes over now. Swings it back to Brad Sully. Sully outside then to Ash Lumbey. Lumbey got it away round the corner. Now on it goes to Jackson. Jackson starting to move nicely. Being chased. Got the pass away. Picked back there by Belcher. Belcher to the quarter line. Tackled by Walsh. Got it back to Sully. Sully goes down. Loses it. Ball rolling loose. And it's going to be a penalty. Wynnum here.
I don't know what that's for, but...
I'm not sure who was holding on to who over there. Let's have a look.
I thought Sully was going to do it. Now, it's Muller who ends up waltzing with someone. Does he? Is it Muller? Yes.
He and Dowling back there, is it? Yes, it'll be he and Dowling.
The ball is forgotten.
Who was holding her back?
Belcher comes along and said, well, there's the try. But no, says Eddie Ward, you can't have a shot east out here in the middle of Lang Park.
So they'll take the tap now, Wynnum-Manly. And this is Kajewski. So all of a sudden, Mick, the boot's on the other foot.
Switched right round, yes.
So it's Wally Lewis. Unloads it back to Dawes. Dawes tackled by Bob Lindner. David Green, the dummy half. Over to Lewis. Lewis turns it back inside to Gene Miles. Miles put to the ground. He'll play it. Dummy half is David Green. Green back to Dawes. Shapes for the kick, then decides to run, then puts in a little kick. Back over to Phil Beavers. Runs up over the halfway mark. Tackled by Terry Butler. Bit of help coming in from Peter Dawes. Dummy half this time is Meninga. Over to Kellaway. Kellaway put down midway between the quarter and halfway in Wynnum-Manly territory. 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Bruce Harry. Harry got it away then to Lindner. Lindner got it away nicely this time to QB Abbott. Abbott standing up at the tackle, looking for support and no one around.
Well, he could have shot it out to Peter Jackson, but he didn't.
So on it goes this time to Lumbey. Lumbey coming up to Brian Walsh. He'll get away from him. Oh, so easily and in for the try. And Souths have hit the front, 14-10.
Oh, and look how Souths make Wynnum-Manly's defence stand up. The short pass from the halfback here. He sees, everyone watches Peter Jackson coming and he doesn't give it to Jackson. He gives a real short one to Ash Lumbey, who's not short on speed. He went around Walsh like he was standing still and over. And total new complexion on the game.
Here it is again, the NEC replay. There's Brad Sully on his way through. Has Bruce Harry outside. But coming between them is Ash Lumbey. And Lumbey strides away. Now, this is the view that Brian Walsh had. Lumbey swerves across field. Brian Walsh starting to go, but it's all too late. The bird has flown. And Ash Lumbey in for another try for South, their second try. And they go to a lead of 14 points to 10. Mel Meninga back onto his mark. He's been in good form today as Mel, 3 from 3.
So is his general play.
Here he goes, on his way in. And he gets this one through also at 16 points to 10. Very warm day here at Lang Park. Excellent crowd. Should imagine league officials will be very happy with the turnout today. They've had plenty to cheer about.
Oh, will they have? What a game for a final. That's the second time we've seen Belcher dummy too. I'd say the next time he might let it go because he was absolutely hammered on that occasion.
So this is Brad Sully with it now, sending it back over there to Kerr, then to Kellaway. Kellaway tackle, but able to get the pass away. Admittedly, it rolls on the ground, picked up there by Sully, who got it to Lumbey. Lumbey in turn knocked over by Peter Dawes. Dummy half is Eddie Muller. Muller starting to run it out. He gets up to the quarter line. Here's Beninga, tackled by Green, but he got out of that tackle. Still going. Now gets it to Lindner. And a penalty, Wynnum.
Lewis. That was forward. It didn't look too forward to me. Here it is. Here's the replay. Gets out of this tackle. Lost by French. Now, well, it's hard to say from this angle. It looked pretty okay to me.
Yeah, a little bit hard to look at now, I think. Let's see the tap taken now by David Green. Turns it back inside. This is big Greg Dowling. He in turn gets it back to Dawes. Dawes will be put over about 8 metres out. Wynnum start on the way back again. Lewis works across field, eventually taken, put to the ground. He'll get up to play at the dummy half is Brian Walsh, who's left that fullback posse. Let me at him, he says. This is Kajewski over. Kajewski dives in for the try, and Wynnum have got back into it again.
Oh, great strong play from Wynnum-Manly. Walsh comes across field, gives it a short pass, and what a determined run. 2, 3, 4 men Kajewski beats to go over that line. A determined fight back from Wynnum-Manly.
Let's have a look at the head on. There's Brian Walsh away from dummy half. The short pass over to Kajewski on the burst. Kellaway from one side. Muller's there. And Belcher was there, but he was able to get in. He was hanging on desperately to that ball. So now it's Gary Coyne. Scott, while he was there, kicked 1 from 2. Sent off the field after 18 minutes of play. Colin Scott. Alleged high tackle on Phil Beavers, the South winger. Here's the kick coming in from Gary Coyne at this major semi-final. As Peter Dawes feeds the scrum about midway between the quarter and halfway down in Wynnum-Manly territory. Waiting for Eddie Muller to get his head down into the scrum. Referee Ward not happy with it. He's going to talk to both front rows there. And down they go. In by Dawes. Over there to Lewis. Lewis breaking up the centre. Here he goes. He's up over the halfway. Pushed away Beavers. Gets it away to Terry Butler. Butler over the quarter line. They're coming at him quickly. He's in the corner. Yes, Terry Butler is in. Over in the corner. Meninga tackled him right on the line, but he's in for the try, and Wynnum will go into the half-time break with a lead.
Oh, grand football from Wynnum, and look at Lewis. They were up too far. Both players from Souths. Beavers went for him, then had to dive, and he was gone. And actually, Lewis could have run from there if he wanted to and taken the other two South players out of the play and made it easier for Butler, but he didn't have to. Tell you what, Belcher gains on Butler, which surprises me. Although we've seen Alro run away from Butler too. He takes him beautifully, but that white line's far too close.
Meninga coming in to finish off the tackle. Here it is, right from the scrum. And you'll see it go from there. Dawes, cross to Wally Lewis. Lewis away from Lindner. Now on the way, claps on the face. Bill Beavers coming at him. He palms him away. Beavers grumbling at thin air in the end. Then he sends the pass out to Terry Butler, the best little finisher in the business. And Butler sets sail for the corner. You'll see Belcher appear on the scene very shortly. He's got to come into it shortly, Michael. Where are you? Here he comes. That's Gary Belcher diving at Terry Butler. But Butler, enough momentum, bounds right on the line and in for the try. Kick is going to fail. So it's 20 points to 16. All in play for Wynnum-Manly. They'll be coming from the northern end of the ground for this half of the match. Half-time score, Wynnum-Manly leading by 20 points to 16. And it's been a first half make of fluctuating fortunes. Wynnum-Manly, just a reminder once again, are without Colin Scott. He was sent from the field after only 18 minutes of play. He's down in the dugout with the players here, Mick.
Yes, it's sad for Scott and for Wynnum-Manly. He took Phil Beavers high. Beavers going for a try, stepped inside as South make a bit of a break here. And Colin Scott, reflex action. He just couldn't allow Beavers to run through. Everyone has been talking about it. And he cocked his arm, and Beavers certainly ran into it. But, it looked worse than it was. There's Colin Scott. He's showered and dressed, and
he's got an early start.
Yes.
So he'll have to face the judiciary as yet, so that could be another problem for Wynnum-Manly. Anyway, time will tell. Here is Southern Suburbs in possession now. Bruce Harry, the man with the ball. Drives it across field over there towards Terry Butler's wing. And the little fella takes it. Scored a try just coming into the half-time break, which has given Wynnum-Manly this half-time lead. Now a penalty. Those players offside, I would imagine.
And South's making a lot of fundamental errors in the first half. We saw two that ended up tries for Wynnum-Manly. Absolute blunders. The first by Phil Vevers and then the second by Belcher. And on both occasions, the players had the ball in their hands and then it was spilled out and Wynnum-Manly picked up 2 easy tries. South have fought back, but I don't think they'll continue to fight back if they keep dropping this ball and giving away silly penalties. You just can't do that in the final. Well,
in that first half, Mick, they lost the ball on 10 occasions as opposed to Wynnum-Manly's 3 times, so that'll give you an idea.
Well, it's self-explanatory, isn't it, Bill?
So now it's Wynnum-Manly in possession. David Green back over to Dawes. Dawes back in the tackle. Who do you think it'd be? Bobby Lindner, of course. Tough customer, this fellow. He's had a good year this year as Bob Lindner and could emerge as one of the big players next season. So up as dummy half is Green. Back over there to Dawes, outside to Lewis, then to Gene Miles, starting to motor onto it. Miles gets the pass back to Lewis. How he did, I don't know. This is Peter Dawes onto the quarter line. Now he gets it away to French. French cutting across field, got away from the tackle coming in over there from Harry. Put down a couple of metres out from the line now. He'll get up to play it. Dummy half is David Green. Back over to Lewis. Lewis will score. Ollie Lewis in for the first try of the second half. Kajewski was the man going through, but they got it to Lewis, and of course Lewis so close to the line, Mick, it shut the gate job.
Oh, it was so easy too. He seemed to have no one there to beat, and South's coming out asleep. We see Frenchie very near gets there, but bowled over by Jackson. You'll see Jackson coming at him, and he nearly gets away from Jackson, but Jackson bulldogs into the ground, and Green to dummy half. See the action from here. There's Wally outside, and look, seems to be wide open spaces out there. Kellaway takes him, but outside of that, there's heaps of room.
Here's a head-on shot coming up right now. This is Ian French going across field. Eventually, Jackson getting him. Hold him right over. Now you'll see there's Green. And watch for Kajewski coming through because he takes a few South players with him, Mick. So it's part of the ploy. There he goes. So he's got 3. He's taken 3 out of business, and Lewis is able to get in for the try. So it's Wynnum-Manly with a lead of 24-16. Make it 26-16 as Gary Coyne converts the try. And all of a sudden, a match of changing fortunes again. Wynnum-Manly booting off with a 10-point lead.
Well, that's what they nearly had in the first 5 to 7 minutes of the game. They had 8 points to 0.
They did have a 10-point to 0 lead, Nick.
Did they? Yep. It ended up 10 points to 0, did it? But by Jove, they're doing it with 12 men, remember, viewers, and that's no mean effort.
Still a long way of the match to go as yet. We're only some 3.5 minutes into the second half. This is Greg Dowling. Dowling bringing it up to just about on the quarter line. Dummy half is David Green. Green back over to Dawes. Outside there to Kajewski. Kajewski put over about 30 metres out from his own line. David Green to dummy half. To Lewis. Lewis puts it downfield. Gary Belcher back there. He will take it and starts to run it out now. Working up towards the quarter line. Ian French there. French will eventually get him. Yes, he does. A nice piece of work by the second round. Dummy half is Phil Beavers. Tries to run it out, but doesn't get far. The Wynnum-Manly defence very quickly there on the spot. Eddie Muller, Sully. Then across to Kerr. Out to play it. Muller from dummy half. Now gets his pass on to Kerr. Then away. Lost there. Not a good pass to Meninga. Penalty. Lewis appealed the referee Ward for it. And got it.
No doubt about that, Wally. That hand up to the mouth. The guard out. Hit a flash. Hey, sir, what about that? He was offside. But I think Eddie Ward had it covered before that.
I don't think Wally takes any chances.
No. Not at all.
So it's Gene Miles finding touch right on the Southern Suburbs quarter line. And David Green moves up onto that mark to take the taps. Quickly across to Gary Coyne. Coyne put down some 18 metres out from the south line. Green works the blind side. Coming through is Dowling. Can't get up to them. 10 metres out now. Green the dummy half again. Over then to Dawes. Outside to Lewis. Lewis quick hands to Miles. Back inside to Ian French. French around the corner, but it's lost. Towed through by Dawes and eventually back over the dead ball line.
Oh, a crushing tackle by Meninga, but Meninga's hurt more than French. But there's Meninga. He's down. He thumped French, but came off the worst for it that time. But South just looked at that loose ball on the ground, Bill. That amazed me. They just don't fancy diving on the loose ball, and it is so precious.
Tap taken on the quarter by Muller. Gets it away then to Kellaway. Kellaway about 30 metres out from his own line. Away from dummy half. It's Ash Lumbey sending it across. The man going to ground with it now for Souths is Gibson. This is Muller. Breaking away from the dummy half spot. Now to Sully. Sully outside to Bruce Harry. Harry to Belcher. Belcher can't get away from Gene Miles. And he takes him ball and all. He'll play it 5 metres short of halfway. Lumbey to Sully. Then away to Jackson, the winger. Just inside Wynnum-Manly territory, they'll play the ball. Kick coming under from Bruce Harry. Terry Butler back there. Butler starting to run it out. Oh, knocked off balance first up by Bob Linder, who hurt himself there, but he's back onto his feet. This is Brett French with the ball. Away from dummy half, David Green. Then to Dowling. Dowling 10 metres short of the halfway mark. David Green. Over to Lewis. Lewis kicking for touch. I'm saying he's going to be a big chance of finding it. It's rolling, 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 and into touch. What a kick.
What a screamer. And boy, didn't it scream along. He hit her on the top to make it run. Watch this on the NEC replay. Doesn't it fly? Belcher just gave up. Look at him. He starts to slow down because he can see what's going to eventuate.
Getting further and further away from him, Mick. Great kick. And puts the Souths team under a bit of pressure again. Well, they do have possession. It's something. But it's nice to play it down in their quarter than your own.
That's the good tactics.
So back on to Bob Kellaway. Kellaway will work up toward the quarter line before he goes to ground. Muller from dummy half. Sully. Then away this time to Gibson. Tackled by Peter Dawes. Dummy half Bruce Harry. Sun starting to shine through again. A very warm day at Lang Park. Mal Meninga is tackled by French. Got out of it. The ball flies loose. Going to be dived on by Peter Dawes, and it's a Wynnum-Manly ball. Warren Green in from the wing. This is Lewis. Dummy half David Green. Wynnum with the lead of 26-16. This is French. French still going. Oh, had the ball knocked out of his hands. South end up with it. So away from dummy half is Ash Lumbey. Lumbey being forced back in the tackle.
Yes, he's going the wrong way for sure.
Peter Jackson, dummy half. Jackson, cross over to Kerr. Kerr tackled by Coyne.
South's looking a little tired at present.
Muller back to Sully. Outside then to Gibson. Gibson got a bit of a workout. Dowling from one side, Kajewski from the other. Dummy half Muller. Sully reverses. This is Mal Meninga. Meninga still going. But a nice tackle by Kajewski and underneath. He's done some work today, Nick.
Oh, worked very hard. He always does, Kajewski. And doesn't look good all the time, but there he goes, chasing again.
Throwing himself to try and cut out the kick of Bruce Harry. Is that a crossfield or a knock-on? Knock-on, says referee Ward.
Crossfield's good enough for a knock-on.
Is it? All right, the crowd don't agree with it, but there it is. So at the moment, it's Wynnum leading by 26-16. Give a penalty, not allowing him to play the ball, is he? Gene Miles being spoken to again. He's had a couple of chats from referee Ward.
Well, he's getting in there and roughing them up a bit. Of course, it's not a here. You'll see it on the replay here. He's in over the top. Now, the referee calls to play it, and he classes that probably as a second tackle. I didn't. I just thought that Gene was letting him know he was around. That's what he's there for.
11 minutes of their second half gone. Wynnum's lead is 26-16, but it's Southern Suburbs getting up into a position now where they can take it up and put on a bit of pressure. As it goes back to Meninga. Meninga bustling his way through. He'll be put down some 8 metres out now from the Wynnum-Manly line. Dummy half is Muller. Muller going himself. Now a big one over the top to who? Phil Beavers. Beavers taken by Terry Butler and under the ground. South going backwards on that occasion. Limner from dummy half. Out it goes to Muller. Muller outside then to Bruce Harry. Harry tackle, got the pass to Peter Jackson. Loses it straight in the hands of Lewis, and Wynnum have got possession. Well, they can't win games doing that, Michael.
No, they're not playing well at all, South.
This is Warren Green attempting to run it out.
They're getting, I'm sorry, Bill, but they're getting themselves into a good attacking position and even getting close to going places. And then, of course, handling brings them undone. That's just plain fundamentals.
So now we see the man with the ball is David Green, lost by Lewis. Doesn't happen very often, but it does. So we'll have a scrum just inside the quarter line. The Wynnum-Manly quarter line. Here's that knock on here. See a great deal of it, but Wally did lose it, I can assure you. Penalty now to Southern Suburbs. Now, here's a chance for them again, Mick.
Well, they can put the pressure on Wynnum-Manly, but they must do it, and they very steadily. And Muller picked it up and ran across field on one occasion there. I thought he was heading into the Frank Burke stand rather than go straight downfield.
So here's Bruce Harry kicking for touch. And finding it. Now, here's a chance for the Magpies. They trail by 10 points at the moment, 26-16. Wynnum in the command position at the moment. Eddie Muller onto the mark. To who? To Ash Lumbey, then away to Meninga.
Trying hard, Meninga.
Put down about 7 or 8 metres out from the Wynnum-Manly line. This is Kerr. Kerr losing it in the tackle. Rolls loose. Wynnum-Manly ball. Brian Walsh with it, and they've done it again. This is Dowling. Dowling about 12 metres out from his own line as he plays it to Green. Lewis. Lewis. Shoulder into Ash Lumbey there. It almost works his way up to the quarter line. Well, he does by the time he plays it. Gets a penalty out of it. And so here it is again.
Exactly what happens now. Now, Lumbey's hanging on to him and then won't let him get up at all. That's what the penalty's for.
Miles having a bit to say too.
How long's this got to go on, sir, sort of thing?
So they take the tap. Wynnum about a metre short of the halfway mark. This is Kajewski. Dummy half waiting for it is David Green. Green back over there to Dawes. Outside to Greg Dowling. They really go places, these Wynnum forwards, when they take that ball up, Nick.
They run onto it with vigour, and that's the only way to do it.
Here's Peter Dawes. He's trying to work across field and link up with Coyne. He's lost the ball in the process. The referee says stolen by Bob Lindner. And a penalty to Wynnum-Manly.
Once again, Lewis, quick as a flash. Mouse guard out. Sir, look at this. Wynnum-Manly, of course, sponsored by Century Air Conditioning. They'd be wishing that the Guernseys were air-conditioned around about now, wouldn't they?
You betcha. Lewis got a fair bit to say to the team too, Nick, as the match goes on. Tap is taken by David Green. Back over there to Coyne. Coyne bowled over, some 18 metres out now from the south line. David Green to dummy half. Back over to Ian French on the blind side. He's put over 7 or 8 metres out now. Dummy half is Green again, skirting right across field. Now props, but nowhere left to go. Eventually put to the ground there by Gibson.
Someone's lost the ball.
They have too. Now there's going to be a penalty. Who's being called out? David Green got a bit to say. Bob Lynn is the man who ended up with the ball. David Green being spoken to. Lewis is across here also.
Well, Green's the captain.
I think Wally's taken over. So now it'll be Peter Jackson, the kick for touch. 24 and a half minutes remaining in the match. Wynnum-Manly getting off to a flying start to the second half. Half-time, it was Wynnum leading by 20-16. Adding that try, converted try, which gives them a 10-point lead now. Try coming some 3 minutes into the second half. So this is Bob Kellaway.
That's much more determined running from Kellaway, but he's not doing enough of it.
Limner getting it away to Sully, then outside of Meninga. Meninga cuts out Hubie Abbott. Eventually got it to Phil Vevers, who did pretty well to get there, Mick.
Yes, it was on its way out.
Now South running it along that back line. Ash Lumbie with it, but they're not making much ground, and Belcher eventually goes without it. Lumbie recovers, so we'll have a scrum about 20 metres inside Southern Suburbs territory. So the handling proves to be a problem again. Peter Dawes waiting to feed the scrum. Italy, loose arm in there before the ball goes in.
He's right. And I don't know how many mistakes South have made. They don't deserve to win this match at all. They just don't know how to play football. They try and do it easy. And there's no easy way to success. Billy boy.
Waiting for the tap to be taken now. Wynnum-Manly about 10 metres out from the South line. This is Kajewski again, bustling his way towards that line and almost getting there too. David Green to dummy half. Green about to come up and take it. Gets it back over there to Coyne, but Coyne straight back into that lot of players who were there to mark Kajewski. Now they go to Lewis. Lewis is over the line. Can he get the ball down? Yes, he can. He's got it down. Was taken by Ash Lumbie, but is able to ground the ball. And so another try for Wynnum-Manly, which should just about wrap it up for them, Mick.
As we see on the replay here, we'll get a good view of it. Green just gives it to him. Now, man on situation like that, Lumbie should have held on to him. But, well, a good player and just a mediocre player. There is no contest.
Here's a head on now. That's Gary. That's Lewis going in there now. So he's over the line, and he is able to roll over and ground the ball. Now it's a try. Referee Ward right on the spot. And Wynnum-Manly have a lead of 30 points to 16. And we wait for Gary Coyne to attempt to convert the try.
Well, this is happening now, but I thought this would have happened about 25 minutes ago. Wynnum-Manly starting to go away. The South just don't have the class players, and you know it's out wide that South have contained Wynnum today and played well, but in the forwards they've failed quite strongly, haven't they? They've failed, I was going to say miserably, and they have. They're just not doing it in the middle.
Lewis is going to be caught over here by referee Ward. He was over to the touchline. Des Morris was out there also, and he called time off to go and chip them, but has decided to let it go now, and I'm sure he'll let Lewis know that he has spotted him.
Des is heading off up into the grandstand.
So now we see Gary Coyne ready to take this shot at goal. 30 points to 16. Wynnum leading. It's going to be away to the right-hand side of the upright. So the score remains Wynnum 30 and Southern Suburbs 16.
The champions unleashed evermore.
Just about 20 minutes gone. There's the the Valley's players up there on the hill. We just had a quick shot of them. So Strutty now will have to start thinking about playing Souths next week, I'd say, Mike. Although, as I say, we're still about halfway through this second half, but Souths just haven't done enough to give their supporters any hope, really, have they?
No. If it was an even game and those first 10 points hadn't gone to Wynnum-Manly, South tails might have been up a little more than they are now. But they missed too many tackles, and one for one they don't put the guy on the ground because they're incapable in stature, I feel. They're just they're not up to it.
Gene Miles kicking through. Phil Vevers scoops it across over there to Gary Belcher. Kajewski up there to tackle him. Good bit of work there from the front rower.
That's the hardest thing in the world to do, to get up, and there he goes again.
Well, while we're talking about players having good games, Mick, a reminder of the $200 reward for Canterbury Sportswear. It'll be at the conclusion of this match for the Canterbury man of the match. So now it's Sully back over there to Limner coming up the centre. Muller is dummy half. Muller back over to Bruce Harry. Tackled by Green. Got the pass back. Well, nobody knew who was going to get it. Kellaway went for it and has knocked it on. Lumbie was there also.
And basically that's the ability of Souths compared to the ability of Wynnum-Manly.
Waiting for the halfback put it in, which he does. Peter Dawes. Eventually, Brian Walsh finishes up with it. Dawes gets it now, though, as he runs away from dummy half. Walsh, Mick, I notice him, he's not worried about going back to fullback at the moment. He's quite happy to just stay up there in the action. So now it's Dowling, back over to Wally Lewis. Lewis still going, gets it away to French with a little bit of room to move. He accelerates up over the quarter line. He's still going. He's going to score. Yes, he is. He's into the corner as Ian French made it look so easy as he strode his way through. He's got some speed, we know that, but he used it to perfection here. Let's have another look at it.
Oh, it comes from the switch. Wally goes around Muller, and that's the start of the rock. And here it is. The second row we're talking about. This is French, the second row, not the centre. Now look at him go. Ta-da, 1. Ta-da to 2. Now Belcher should have definitely had him there. Peter Jackson comes in to help, but oh dear me, South won't win games if they tackle like that.
So here's the head on, and you'll see Lewis coming through, but the big run is the one right now from Ian French. There's the gap, and he's got the pace to go through it. So there he goes, on his way. Still going. Here's Belcher appearing on the scene. And over the top, Peter Jackson, but he's able to get there. And it's Wynnum-Manly with the lead of 34-16.
And Walsh was right there to check on things too. There's Mal Meninga saying a few words. Just as well we didn't get a close-up of what he was saying. I think I could read those lips on that occasion. Bill?
Yes, he's certainly laying down the law there.
He's had a good game himself. Couldn't do any better.
Here's Corn attempting to convert the try just away to the right-hand side of the uprights again. So it's Wynnum leading by 34-16. And they're playing one man short, losing Colin Scott 18 minutes into the first half.
This will be interesting with judiciary. Of course, he may only get a week. And of course, that makes him eligible.
Whether he gets a week or a match, Mick.
Well, there you are. That's a good point to bring up too, Bill.
So now this is Gene Miles. That's if anything happens. We can't presume to pass judgment on it.
No, I must admit that we probably shouldn't have made that mistake because we could get away with just a caution on that, I feel.
Waiting for the scrum to back down. 20 metres out from the Wynnum-Manly line. This is Brad Sully. Harry. Then away to Belcher. Now spinning that one against the feed. Meninga out to Jackson. Bit of a scuffle going on between Meninga and French. Here's Limner. Dummy half up there is Peter Jackson. Jackson over to Gibson. Gibson turns it back to Sully. Lumbie is the dummy half. Bounces across over there to Harry. Harry outside to Hughie Abbott. Muller the dummy half. Swings it back to Meninga. Meninga going to put it up. It's carrying back there towards Lewis. Lewis will take it. Turns around. Had enough time to go a few metres, Mick.
No pressure at all.
So it's Wynnum-Manly in possession now. David Green about to play it. Dawes the dummy half. Back over to Kajewski. Dummy half, David Green. Lewis. Lewis with the boot underneath it. Back over the head of Gary Belcher. Belcher will have to run back to about his own quarter line to pick this one up. Terry Butler's up there. Warren Green's up there coming in from the other side. He gets the pass back to Beavers. Beavers has lost it. It's picked up by Warren Green, and here's another try. Warren Green running away to score underneath the post. And Wynnum-Manly in for yet another one, and it's 38-16.
And this is a major semi-final that Phil Beavers will remember for a long, long time. Watch this for an absolute botcher. 1, that shouldn't have been passed. 2, I think it was like Quicksilver. And, well, I suppose bad luck comes in 3s. He must have run over a Chinaman or killed a black cat coming to work. Bill?
Yes, he looked as though he had it for the world. I want to have another look. This other shot might give us an idea of what exactly happened. It's there. Then he tries to pull it back and whoosh straight out the top over his head. And what he must have thought of when he saw Warren Green there and running away with it, he looks up as if to say, oh, no. Don't tell me. There he is, Green running around to score underneath the posts. It's 38 points to 16. It'll be 40 to 16 in just a moment as Gary Coyne will take this shot at goal. It's right in front of the posts.
And they're all going home. His name's Vivas too, Bill. I can tell you he won't be getting the Canterbury gear today.
Oh, well, it's the way it goes, isn't it?
I doubt whether his brother will be talking to him either. Big bearded Gregory.
Well, this is David Green with the ball now.
They played well, and as you said earlier, remember when Scott went off, you said, well, the team with 12 men might just happen to do it. They've done it all this season, well, they're doing it again.
So here's Wally Lewis getting it outside. This is Coyne. Gee, when you have a look at this Wynnum side, Mick, there's just about every player's fired up in there, haven't they?
It took them a while, but yes, they're definitely going.
Lewis kicks it, charged down by Diamalo, straight back there to Brian Walsh. Walsh decides to have a run. And eventually is going to be halted some 30 metres out from his own line. Another 6 tackles, of course, for that. So here's Kajewski. Crowd starting to chant they want 50 here, Mick. So there's 12 minutes remaining.
Get it 2 ball.
So David Green back over to Lewis. Lewis with a long one. This is Gene Miles. Sends it away to Terry Butler. Butler cuts back inside, but it's going to be picked up in the tackle of Ash Lumbey.
Greg Dowling and Mal Meninga. Having a bit of a tate-to-tate out there. It was missed by everyone.
Here's a bit of trouble on this. Oh, no, it's lost by Coyne. That's where the trouble is. If he had been able to get it away quickly, South are under all sorts of pressure again. This is Peter Jackson.
Now, we haven't seen too much of that all day, have we? South running strongly under it.
This is Ash Lumbey. Lumbey about 25 metres out for the Wynnum-Manly line.
Galloway did it earlier, but has stopped.
So now, it's Bruce Harry getting it back over there, this time to Lindner. Lindner unloaded nicely to Harry, who's punched to the ground by Wally Lewis. Taken ball and all and thumped. Here's Butler away from dummy half. Gets it away to Meninga. Meninga powering through the gap. Commits me the try. No, the ball rolling loose. Can't see who's got it at this stage. Players everywhere. What a Manly ball, I would say. Yes, Terry Butler's underneath it. Lewis and Meninga having a bit of a scuffle over there. And Lewis not too happy. He was giving the touch judge some. So Terry Butler back over to Kajewski. Kajewski straight ahead. Grabbed in the tackle of Peter Jackson. David Green, dummy half. Back onto French. That's the centre, Brett French.
Oh, what a schmozzle that was, and definitely worth a penalty.
So it's Wynnum-Manly with the penalty down on their own quarter line now.
Well, spiteful things will start creeping into this match. Mal's fired up, and he didn't want to be beaten today. And he's performed quite well for South, but the rest of his team hasn't gone too well. There he is, Big Mal. Had a good game today.
It's up a one minute now, Mick, to get them back together and then defeat Valleys to have another crack at Wynnum-Manly in the final.
Yes, it's going to be difficult to mix the soup, I think.
Lewis sending it away this time to France. He cuts away on the halfway mark. He's running away from the couple of supports that he has got. Now he gets it to Lewis. Lewis working across field. He's looking for Walsh. He finds him. This will be another try, I'd say. Downing away to Butler. Butler back inside to Green. Green taken by Meninga. The ball flies into touch over there. And now Meninga lets go at someone over there.
Yes, he had a go at Green.
There's a few players down on the ground at the moment. They've quickly been broken up.
That's frustration, and Bob Lindner says, don't let it start getting you down. Well, he'll end up in the showers, and that will be the end of South for this season.
Meninga being called out now. Touch judge is making a report to referee Eddie Ward. Lewis is being called out also. Well, he's the man that's going to get the talking to.
Wally's Said a few words. He's still saying a few words.
Now Meninga gets his referee Ward talking to him now. David Green there also.
I didn't do anything to stop him. He just belted me. And there's Wally.
Only the Souths out of all that.
Well, it was definitely started by Mal. He tackled Green. Green may have done something back that we didn't see, but he started pounding him.
There's the penalty. Next week's matches now, preliminary finals. The third grade, Wests play Redcliffe. Reserve grade, Wynnum play Valleys. And the A grade will be Valleys playing Souths. That match, of course, is next Saturday night, Nick, and it's an early start. It's a 6:30 start. 6:30 job.
The replay is when?
8:30 that night, Michael.
Oh, well, that's the shot.
So now we see Souths in possession about 30 metres out from their own line. Back over this time to Bob Kellaway. Kellaway about to play it away from dummy half is Eddie Muller. 7.5 minutes remaining in the match. Wynnum's lead is 40 points to 16. Final tackle now. Here's a kick through by Brad Sully. Back there is Warren Green. Takes it. Green starting to run it out. He's up over the halfway mark. A couple of metres inside South territory before he's tackled. Dummy half this time is Peter Dawes. Back over to Kajewski. Kajewski wrapped up. Dawes to dummy half. Or rather, Green to dummy half. Back onto Coyne. Coyne put over 10 metres inside South territory. Over to Dowling. Green. Then to Lewis on the bustle. Outside then to G. Miles. Crunched to the ground by Meninga. The ball rolls loose. A knock on in there. And at this stage, with 6.5 minutes remaining, Wynnum's lead is 40 points to 16.
The champions unleashed evermore.
Penalty coming out of that scrum. Penalty to Wynnum-Manly. Some 20 metres inside Southern Suburbs territory. Lewis gives the ball across to David Green. He in turn gives it to G. Miles. And Miles will be the man to kick the touch.
It's a solid tackle by Meninga on Miles just prior to that scrum. It was a screamer.
Well, he's not 100%, and he also crunched into Wally Lewis on the ground. And Lewis wasn't too good either. Now, Miles has just kicked that ball, and he's standing there in centre field. He hasn't moved much.
No, I tell you what, Mal hit him dead set of midships.
This is David Green. Green gets it away to Lewis. Lewis is all right now, though, as he goes in for another try. That makes it 44 to 16 for Wynnum-Manly.
Well, he's just been given a grease and an oil change, and away he goes again. Unbelievable. I tell you what, the 50 definitely looking like a possibility. Look at that. Oh, he meant business, and that's the difference between wanting to do it and trying to do it.
So that's Wally Lewis in for yet another try. That's 3 tries to him this afternoon, Mick. To Lewis. Wynnum racking up 9 tries to 2. Crowd really starting to call for We 150. Gary Coyne is attempting to convert the try. There's just over 5 minutes remaining in the match. So as you say, Mick, 50 points for Wynnum is a possibility.
Definitely the way they're playing. And remember, 12 men only still. Colin Scott sent off in the, 18th minute?
18th minute of the match.
And I tell you what, a grand effort from Wynnum. Their supporters could be very happy with it. They started slow. Well, they started like a blitzkrieg as he puts the extra 2 points on. But
So that makes it 46 to 16.
yeah, but then they went into neutral again for a while and allowed South to come back. But as soon as Scott was sent off, that was the source they needed to get mobile. Wally's mouth guard came out, and as I said, it hasn't been back, and well, it's been in and out continually for the rest of the afternoon.
So now it's Meninga kicking off. The ball carrying down to Gene Miles. He in turn flicks it back to Terry Butler. Still taking a while to recover from that tackle as Gene Miles. He's holding his ribs there.
I reckon that he might have something wrong with the ribs because, boy, oh boy, I wouldn't have wanted to be hit the way he was hit by Mal Meninga. He was dead set right in the centre.
Oh, that's Coyne charging through. And it was Kerr, the man who knocked him down. Hubie Abbott got a bit of a push there for his trouble, just because he was on the scene.
And didn't do anything about it.
Here's Wally Lewis.
Just held his head.
Lewis about to play it now. On it goes to Gene Miles. Miles puts his boot underneath it. Yes, he just stands on the spot there and doesn't attempt to do anything after that. He's holding on to his ribs. So there could be some sort of an injury there. Well, obviously there is.
He's going, he must go off. He wouldn't want to stay there. He'll be in grave trouble.
This is Bob Kellaway. Kellaway to 10 metres inside Wynnum-Manly territory. Meninga coming up as dummy half now. 3.5 minutes remaining in this match. The scoring for this afternoon for Wynnum-Manly, 9 tries on the board. Wally Lewis 3. French, that's Brett French, Ian French tries. Coyne, Kajewski, Butler, and also Green tries. Coyne has put over 4 goals from 7. Colin Scott 1 from 2. The South, Linda and Blumby tries, both first half tries. We've seen Meninga put over 4 goals from 4. At half-time it was 20-16. So it's 26 points added in the second half for Wynnum-Manly. There's Strutty with his cup of tea, and he's had enough.
The scones and
He'll
all.
go and work out some tactics for next week to play Southern Suburbs.
He did take that sorcery claim by me with him too, Bill.
Here we go. This is Wally Lewis breaking away, looking for support, sends it right over to Terry Butler, picks it up, but he had to lean forward and then lost it. Scrums of the match have gone Wynnum's way by 7-6. The penalties have gone Wynnum's way by 14-7. South have lost the ball on 16 occasions, Wynnum 10. South have missed 15 tackles, Wynnum 10. Wynnum have kicked on 14 occasions as opposed to South 6. And just repeating, Colin Scott sent from the field 18 minutes into the first half.
Gene Miles still out there, and he's being a silly lad because he only needs to have one more bump and he could be in grave trouble.
Here's Mal Meninga breaking away. Here's a chantry now. He's only got one shoe on at the moment. That right one is on. The other one's off. He sends it back inside to Hubie Abbott. Now, South botched this one up, Mick. They should be shot. There's 5 of them there, and Belcher eventually will get in for the try.
And everyone will say, well, Meninga came good and ran away, but there was no Gene Miles there because Gene Miles definitely just cannot run. He's flat out walking. And, well, that was a consolation try. Now, Gene Miles couldn't get into the line of defence here. Now, Mal loses the boot here.
There it goes.
Yes, he's looks like Ali Barbara gone wrong. Draws beautifully. And then all of a sudden, as you said, Bill, there was that many South players there that they looked as though they could watch it right up.
But eventually it's Gary Belcher running away for the try. So there it is. That makes it 46 points to 20. Here's the head on again. Long pass to Mal Meninga, who starts to move. He gets out of Brett French's tackle. But French had just had a hold of his boot. That eventually came right off. Here's Brian Walsh moving in for the tackle. He's waiting to line him up. Now the pass back inside to Hubie Abbott. He almost loses his footing there for a minute. This is Peter Jackson. Then away to Gary Belcher. Jackson had drawn the tackle, and it was Belcher able to stroll away and score the try.
Bruce Harry watching proceedings quietly.
So now here at Lang Park, there's 25 seconds remaining. Gene Miles is leaving the field now. Well, he's standing down on the touchline. He might as well stay where he is because there's very short time left in this match. So now we see South in possession. And knocking it on there, I think. No, he's going to play on. Crowd starting to count it down. South have lost the ball. Wynnum will end up with the ball. It's flying loose, but it's all over here at Lang Park. And in the major semi-final, Wynnum-Manly far too good for Southern Suburbs, winning the match today by 46 points to 22. 46 to 22. That's a lot of scoring, Michael.
Yes, with one man gone. Wynnum-Manly, Scott off. And, of course, the Canterbury man of the match, well, it's not Wally Lewis. I've given it to Tony Kajewski because Kajewski worked hard when the things were rough and tough. And there he is, number 11, and he was still firing, and that's what he's going to fire himself into, too, I might add, that beautiful Canterbury gear, $200 worth.
So Tony Kajewski is our man of the match here for Canterbury, $200 worth of gear for him. And now, of course, Wynnum-Manly going straight into the grand final, and they'll play the winner of next week's match. That'll be on Saturday night at 6:30 here at Lang Park. That match will be be the one between Valleys and Southern Suburbs. We'll be back in a moment to have a look at our try of the match.
Champions unleashed evermore.
Out, and tomorrow's Daily Sun brings you great school holiday suggestions, places to go, things to do, plus the chance of winning free passes to some of the best holiday attractions, and double passes to the movie of your choice in our great movie giveaway competition. Football finals are here. The Daily Sun brings you full-colour action from Lang Park, plus a report on the clash of VFL giants Essendon and Hawthorn, and more lucky numbers in Game 3 of Queensland's easiest and richest instant win game. 3 up and win, all in tomorrow's go-ahead Daily Sun.
Talking of tough jobs, there was this big...
Right here for NEC, and a great prize also for you out there. If you can tell us who scores the try. He's on his way through right now. There he is. I think that face will confuse too many people, Mick. The entry form will be in your Daily Sun tomorrow. And here's the prize. It's a 14-inch portable colour television set from NEC. So get your entry form tomorrow, send it in. We could draw it out next Sunday morning on our Rugby League show.
I'll definitely try and do that for them, yes.
All right, Mick, well, it's next Sunday night now. We have Souths playing Fortitude Valley. The big question now is whether Souths can come back.
Well, they've got a big problem there, and they've got a few hurdles and obstacles to get over, but, oh, well, we'll see what Bennett can do with them.
All right, we'll be back with you, of course, again next Saturday night, rather, from Lang Park.